This is the left azygos, also called the hemiazygos. It's not on this diagram because I only have arteries on there, but it runs right along the back, and the reason it's called left or the hemiazygos is because you only find it on the left side.
How do you spell that?
Azygous, or OS, I'm not sure.
It's an artery?
It's a vein.
Oh, it's
Anything
a vein.
blue is going to be a vein.
And it runs down the...
And it's draining the blood from the back. So it's collecting all the blood from the back and bringing it to meet with the vena cavas. Okay? But if I wanted to see it on the right-hand side, guess what? There's nothing there. Okay?
So it's only on the left?
Only on the left. Alright, so let's continue down. This one's kind of obliterated, but this used to be a diaphragm. And off of here, your first branching point is going to eventually lead to an artery that goes to the diaphragm and an artery that goes to the adrenal gland. If I see pink in the diaphragm, that's the phrenic artery. Okay? And the phrenic artery branches from a point that will eventually give rise to the adrenal artery. And this one isn't a greatest example, but still you can see some pink going to the diaphragm, you can see some pink going to the adrenal gland. So, adrenal artery. Okay? Then you continue on down. Now we can finally see the aorta again. And then the next huge one, this one I'll always find, and you should always find too. This one is a nice little trunk that will eventually give rise to different arteries. One's going to go to the stomach. What is the one going to the stomach going to be called? Gastric. One will be going to the spleen. That'll be called, you can either call it splenic or you can call it lenic. Either one is okay. The other one we're going to, I don't have a great example in here, but you can see some pink up in here going to the liver. That must be the hepatic artery. But all of those come from this one branch right here. In the fish, we also had the same trunk, right? Or the same starting point. What was that called in the fish?
Celiac.
So this is again the celiac artery. Okay. Next, we're going to have one that's going to go to the right side, but it's kind of in between here, so I'm going to flip everything over. And it's going to come out here and go to this kidney. However, the veins are so big that to find the artery, I have to kind of like turn it over. And then you can see the artery back there. But that would be the right renal. Okay? So you're going to have a right renal and then eventually you have a left renal. But since they're not symmetrical, you're going to have something in between. And the one in between is, so here was celiac, then in between we had the one going to the right renal, and now we have this other major one right behind, looks like right behind the celiac, because we're looking at on the side of the animal. This one eventually goes up into the mesentery here. So this is called the cranial mesenteric artery, and you can kind of tell that you have the right one because when you pull on all the mesenteries, this one should be getting tugged. Okay? Alright, continue on down. We'll see the other renal artery. Continue on down a little bit more, and you should find going to the gonads. So in a female, we would have what? Ovarian arteries. And I only see really the veins, right? Because you can see the arteries going there are just so skinny. Ovarian artery. In the male, remember you're going to have a testicular artery, but you can always find it because it's very long and skinny, will eventually come down into where the cremaster pouch is.
And that's the one that intertwines.
Exactly, and then eventually it'll get fatter because it's intertwining with the vein. Called the what? What is that structure called? Campaniform plexus. Alright, so next on down, after the gonadal arteries, we're going to have these going to the sides, and they don't look like they really go anywhere. They just kind of disappear. Right here. They just go to the beds of fat. Those are the circumflex iliac arteries. Let's look at the other one. There's the circumflex iliac artery there. Let's get. Hey, it just disappears into the bed of fat. Find it. All right. So after those circumflex iliacs, you're going to have a split in the dorsal aorta. And that's where you get your common iliac arteries. Common iliacs. And those go to the legs. And then that second page that we had, here's the common iliac, and eventually it splits and all this stuff. But we decided not to make you know it. Okay? So you just have no common iliac. The only thing that I did forget to put on here, the only artery that I did, was this one right here, the median sacral artery, which to find, you take one of the iliacs and you pull it up, and you can see it underneath. And it kind of is going backwards. So you take do you see that one going towards the back right here?
Oh, yes.
Alright, so that's the one that we want. That's the median sacral. Just think of where the sacral vertebrae. Do you guys remember where sacral vertebrae are?
Yeah, they're the ones that attach the pelvic
Right, exactly.
girdle. Yeah.
Okay? So that's all I have for circulation.
Okay.